if I needed to, but it went pretty smoothly that last one.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, watch this. Did it ghost well?
Dude, you're gonna get sick.
Don't get sick like last time.
This isn't a full cigar.
Yeah, but you're gonna get sick inhaling all that nicotine.
It's a cigarillo.
All right, I'm just saying.
I always wonder, is it cigarillo or cigarillo?
Cigarillo, I believe.
Because cigar...
It's sugar, isn't it?
Cigarro.
Yeah, it's cigaros. Is that how you pronounce it?
Cigarro.
Yeah. Cigarro.
Cool.
No, not the fucking System of a Down song. I'm talking the band. Cigarillos?
Oh, I thought you were talking about System of a Down.
No, Cigarillos. It's like Siguro.
Oh, I thought it was sugar. I thought I've been saying it wrong then.
Oh.
I've been saying Sugar Rose.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
A good steering wheel that doesn't fly off while you're driving.
yeah, yeah.
The fruit. The brute and the fruit. The brute.
The fruit and the fruit.
I went to a party on Friday of last week, and it was supposed to be.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, it was far away.
Shit, you know what I mean? Like he does all.
Is it like a gay sex party? Because why do you expect? You think I don't want to show up?
Well, it was
like
I was hoping it would be, but the dude's boyfriend was there. He was supposed to be out of town, but then he ended up not going out of town because I think he knows what's going to happen if he leaves town.
Yeah, you'd be there.
But I was there,
and you were there.
Yeah, and damages.
And he's like, "Oh, this is the one that's gonna fuck my boyfriend if I leave."
That's right. But dude, I went to his birthday party and he made pop brownies, and there was a Vietnamese dude there that he's sort of buddies with that was invited, and he goes, so the Vietnamese dude was drunk, and then my buddy offered him pop brownies, and so he was like, "Oh, brownie," ugh. And he didn't understand. He thought that pop brownies was just the name of the brownie.
Yeah, you make it in a pot.
It's just like there's rosemary brownies, and there's there's chocolate there's peanut butter brownies. Oh, pop brownies.
It's kind of like a
so then he
cake.
ate like this massive piece of pop brownie.
Oh gosh.
And then like an hour later he's sitting on the floor and he goes, "Oh, Daisy ba." He's like, "Are you okay? You okay? Do you want to get put you on the couch?" He goes, "Oh, no. Come my sister. Come my sister." And then it's like, "No." So he dials the number and he hands it to me. And I go, "I don't fucking even know who you are."
Talk to my sister. Talk to my sister.
So he hands to my friend that's having the party, and he says, "Yeah, your brother just made me call you." He says, his name's Fong,
of course.
And he goes, "Yeah, Fong told me to call you," and he says that he wants you to come pick him up. He's like, "I'm so very far away. I'm so big. Come on, I gotta work." And so then he's just slopping on the floor, just sort of falling all over himself. And then they brought him a pot and he starts vomiting. I'm trying to go to sleep because I don't want to have anything to do with this mess at this point. It's like midnight and I'm ready to go to bed.
Burger's usual.
So then I just
I was gonna say Burr goes to a party and it's like he's Larry
I'm
David.
tired
He's so
of
Larry
this.
David.
Yeah.
He's so Larry David.
I swear they're related.
Go on, Burger.
So now I try to close my eyes and go to sleep, and then I hear what sounds like somebody dumping soup into a pot.
I wish I had that sound.
Mm.
I want to be nasty. Do you mind?
What was that?
I want to be nasty. Do you mind?
You get nasty.
Oh God! So then he's thrown up and
Is
everything.
that 45? Is that our former president?
Yeah, that's number 45, folks.
Is that 45?
As we all
just
know,
keeps
him
getting
by.
better. I can't wait to see what number 50 sounds like. But so then I woke up kind of like at 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm like,
a lot of people in here. I walked in and said, wow, there's a lot of people. That's a great formula. Sorry, go on.
Wow, I came in, I smelled vomit. I said, wow, it smells like vomit.
I wish I had the clapping still.
Oh.
So then anyways, I woke up at like 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm like, oh, how's Fong? How's he doing? He's like, oh, he goes, my boyfriend drove him to the hospital.
Oh my God. That's not a good idea.
Well, I think he was, I don't know, he was panicking.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's what you don't want to do.
That's what happened. When you give drugs to foreigners, you have to make sure they know what the drugs are. You can't use slang.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Pot brownies.
Oh, you made
the
it in a
brownies.
pot. Yeah.
As opposed to door brownies.
Why
or
is there,
desk brownies.
So why is there just a random, like,
Well,
barely.
So this is kind of also Burger's MO, is to get people who don't speak well English.
Yeah.
And then
Speak well English.
like myself.
Yeah.
And he tricks them into things. Right? I mean, I don't know why.
Isn't that rape?
But it does seem to be that.
I don't know. I mean, rape is subjective, I think.
Tricking, doping people into stuff?
Talk about a gray area.
I think he just, I don't know. There seems to be a lot of foreigners that you come across.
And they never speak good English. Ever.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
why
there's subtle
is that?
That's because I don't discriminate.
No, I feel like it's like a prey thing.
We know
it's
that's
easy
not
to
true.
prey upon. They probably don't even. They're probably not gay, and Burger just like forces himself.
No, we're not going to accuse him of rape. Here.
I don't think that's appropriate.
He gets enough accusations.
I'm pretty sure that everything I've done is completely and totally kosher and within the realms of United States and Washington state law. And I would just like to make that absolutely clear.
How many people were at this party?
What do you consider people? Like there was a bunch of lesbians.
Yeah, those are people.
So it wasn't just like you, a dude, the dude's boyfriend, and then Fong.
No, there was a lot of peripherals just kind of
And he
hanging out in the
didn't
background
invite
eating
Yeah, he
fajitas.
didn't invite us.
I could have been eating a fajita and
You wouldn't want to
eating
be.
pot
There was
brownies.
no room. There wasn't any room.
I
For,
like
if the
pot
fire marshal,
brownies.
if the fire marshal had showed up, he'd be like, "This is unacceptable."
No, I don't really like that.
That's
Yeah.
the kind of party you go. That's the numbers.
But I get sweaty and I turn red and I get uncomfortable.
yeah, but you and I would be so cool compared to Fong and stuff. Like people would be coming to us, you know.
Well, it sounds like it was Fong, 2 gay dudes, and a bunch of lesbians. What are we trying to do?
Well, he says lesbians, but he's not going to be MO in all of them.
You didn't survey?
There was one there that was like, okay, this is a lesbian because she was like very dykey looking,
Of course, yes.
and she had a girlfriend that was like this heavy set, but like kind of pretty but heavy set,
Yeah, yeah.
Hispanic chick that was like massive tits
Perfect.
Okay.
with a lot of makeup on. But
Kirk,
the
you could. I hope there's another one because Kirk would want that.
but the
one.
Maybe.
but the dykey looking one was named Jason.
Okay.
So I was like,
With an X.
what do I don't know.
Jason?
Jason with a J or a G or an
You're
X.
so
Maybe it was
special.
Jason.
Jason with an X.
You're so special.
So I didn't know. I kept. There was a time where like this person said something, and like somebody was saying something like what was that? And I was like, I didn't want to say like, oh, he said or she said or fucking they.
You just
I
say
was like,
they.
So I'm curious about Fong though. How did one pick up Fong? How did this random Fong man show up?
I didn't want to ask
One
too
that
many
didn't know
questions.
about pot brownies.
Yeah, like one who didn't know about pot brownies.
I don't know. It was really
they
weird.
go get a bowl of pho and they just grab the guy cooking at the cauldron in the back and say,
Maybe
"Come
like he,
service our friend Burger."
yeah, like he looked from the neck down. He looked like he was like 20 years old, but then from like the neck up, it was like he could be 25 or 45. Like you can't tell with the Orients.
Okay. Well, I hope that's a compliment.
It was a compliment. Like, you know, black don't crack. Like that's a
Right.
compliment.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
So I mean, as far as I know, he survived.
Well, he
Our
did go to the
thoughts-
hospital. A hospital is
thoughts
where
are with
people go to
Fawn.
die. And typically pot doesn't kill you. So I
You
wouldn't
know,
want
and
to go.
here's the thing. How selfish of him to go take a spot in the hospital when we're clearly overrun.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they can't get enough people to help.
Right, because all the nurses and the doctors are being let go because they don't want to get vaccinated. So now they're understaffed.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, it's a real problem.
What the fuck is that? Oh shit! I thought that was a sound effect that he was doing on his machine.
I'm just pressing buttons.
I think
here.
that was his note. That was somebody's notice for like, don't extrapolate on that. I know when to shut my mouth.
Do we have a story?
All right. So this is a story from the New York Post. Groupie hell. Led Zeppelin molested teen with fish.
That's right.
Book reveals.
Time to cancel Led Zeppelin, everyone.
That's right, and I
Getting
think
out
it's
your
long
canceling
overdue.
sticks. Very long overdue.
Well, I can keep listening. I just don't have to go to a show, right?
No, you have to cancel them.
You can't
completely.
listen
They're
to
gone.
him anymore. You can't
Can
derive
you watch?
pleasure.
Can you
I
watch
already-
the Cosby Show?
I already paid for the music though, so I'm not like continuing to.
Nope.
Would
Gotta
you listen to
burn it.
Michael Jackson when he plays on 95.7?
But what? Like I bought
48
it. I
hours
bought
a
the
day?
CDs used. They didn't even. They didn't even get any of the money.
Steamroll them, burn them.
I have to erase them from my memory.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The only as Berger was mentioning, the only one impervious to anything like this is Michael Jackson.
Which he's
He's
okay.
impervious. So get played on the radio to the end of time. We must cancel Led Zeppelin for these atrocious things that we're definitely not just learning about right now.
Right. Well, and we might
Yeah.
even...
When? How many times is this story going to come out?
Right? Like, it's like seriously one of the famous rock and roll stories, like groupie stories of all time. Like, this is not, this literally is repackaged. They fit like the fucking Sunscreen song. It's nostalgia. They fished it out, took all the nasty parts off, and they've repackaged it into something different.
and sold it for more than it's worth.
Yeah.
So, here we go. Led Zeppelin had more than its fair share of sexcapades on the road, but things got freaky, even for them. And when a young groupie and some fish in 1969, that's such a thing that it's like when somebody's beyond being able to have some kind of accusation to get, like beyond cancellation, and instead of saying this disgusting event took place, they're like, things got freaky. I ripped the skin. The incident, which is detailed in Bob Spitz's new book, Led Zeppelin, the biography, out Tuesday, went down at the end of a tour with Vanilla Fudge in Seattle. The road managers for both bands, Richard Cole for Zeppelin and Bruce Wayne for Vanilla Fudge.
So Batman and Dick Cole.
And Dick Cole.
Essentially,
Wait,
this
who's
real?
Dick Cole?
Dick Cole and Batman.
Dick Cole and Batman. Essentially, what the story is getting at is that
Wait, what? Where did these names come from?
They're
Let me
tour
go back.
managers.
Let me spit this. The incident, which is detailed in Bob Spitz's new book, Led Zeppelin, the biography,
Bob
out
Spitz.
Tuesday, went down at the end of a tour with Vanilla Fudge in Seattle. The road managers for both bands, Dick Hole for Zeppelin and Bruce Wayne for Vanilla Fudge, aka Batman, had caught a bunch of mud sharks and red snappers while fishing from a waterfront room at the Edgewater Inn.
So the Edgewater Inn is the one down in Seattle that the Beatles made famous because they were fishing out of their room back in the day when they were in Seattle.
So it's like fishing for groupies,
no, they're legitimately
and the snappers are like a type of.
No, they're right on the water.
No, they're actually on the water, like fishing.
Oh,
Well,
Like, you
fishing
can
from
fish-
the
you can
waterfront room
fish-
at the
you can
Edgewater
fish
Inn.
out of your room. So it's like this. It's like this iconic thing that happened. Like the Beatles. There's photo of the Beatles, I believe, actually fishing out of the room, and it was a thing that Led Zeppelin did. So for years and years and years and years now, there has been a rumor or a urban legend story of how Led Zeppelin fucked one of their groupies with a mud shark. They took a mud shark and they put it in her pussy. And that's been a story that's been around
Vagina.
for decades now.
Yeah.
And in this book, it's being detailed just in more graphic detail. The two tour managers, or road managers, whatever they called them, started hanging
Dick
out with
Cole
this
and-
like
Dick Cole and
16
Batman.
with this 16-year-old the 16-year-old
17-year-old.
group. Okay, 17-year-old groupie, and they were smoking pot with John Paul Jones, and then eventually they had all these fish, and they started to put it in her, like, started doing shit with it.
Yeah, they were like dick slapping her on the cheek.
That's what they were doing. They were like hitting her in the back, hitting her with it and stuff, and she's getting like all kind of cut from their whatever teeth.
Yeah,
or
like
whatever
Quasimodo when they
they're
were
kind of like beating her on the back with it. Just taking complete advantage of her. Yeah. And then somehow,
or feeding the fantasies that
word got out. So then, fucking Bonzo Bonham and his wife come and are watching this happen, and then eventually, the whole band was in the doorway watching as they took butter and put it on the girl's pussy, and then took a fish and started shoving it in her pussy.
And using the butter as lubricant.
And then they pissed and shit on her afterwards.
Oh, well, let's get on.
We don't have to read the whole story verbatim. Just get the meat and potatoes of it.
That's all meat and potatoes. This whole story is meat and potatoes.
It's pretty nasty.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. They brought their haul to John Paul Jones's room, where the Led Zeppelin bassist was smoking pot with Villa Fudge drummer Carmen Appice and a 17-year-old groupie named Jackie. After Jackie had gotten pretty high, Cole and Wayne told her to take off her clothes. Once she was naked, this is a quote, once she was naked, they started hitting her with the fish. And it left little teeth marks on her back.
But now the detail of the story is that it's the road managers. So those are the guys who are doing the damage, even though the original story or urban legend was that it was the actual band doing it. And chances are, the band was probably more into it than what they're giving them credit for in the story. But they knew they would probably get canceled if that really canceled.
It's easy to cancel Bruce Wayne and Dickhole.
Well, yeah, because you've never even heard those fucking guys before.
That's why the names are a joke. There's probably not even real names. There's probably not even the names that came up when they talked about it 10, 15, 20 years ago. After Jackie had gotten pretty high, Dick Hole and Bruce Wayne told her to take off her clothes. When she was naked, they started hitting her with the fish and left little teeth marks on her back, says Appice in the book.
See, that's what we already went over it.
Quote, things got pretty ugly, pretty intense. So we went out in the hall where Bonzo, Led Zeppelin drummer John Bonham, and his wife, Pat, joined us, and we watched the action through the door. Because it was too intense. They just couldn't handle it, so they had to watch it from fucking outside the door.
That's sounds like...
That's so gross.
That sounds like someone who was in the room the whole time it happened.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
The excuse of like, well,
I wasn't a part of it.
Hey, fuck, dude,
Hey, it's got nothing to do with me.
Hey, man, my hands are fucking clean, you know?
Were you in the room when these actions were taken? No, I was not.
Dude, I was in the doorway.
I was in the hall.
I mean, pretty much in the hall is essentially in another room, man.
Mm-hmm. I was in another room. I didn't take place. It was too intense for me, man.
So weird.
Yeah, other voyeurs would join them in the hall. Quote, in fact, we were invited to bring our wives to take a look, recalls Zeppelin frontman Robert Plant. But after a while, we left because it was all a bit unsavory. Just an excellent word to describe molestation with a fresh caught fish. I ripped the skin.
It's
so. This is gross. But later on, things got even more degrading when Dick Hole and Batman came with their bucket of dead fish to Appice's room, where a naked Jackie sat on the bed as others were eating room service. This sounds very like a very stinky experience.
Yeah, how the fuck would you be
who wants to
eating?
be in a room full of fish?
It was a different room.
Yeah. They grabbed the butter off the
cart.
cart.
These guys immediately like, what the fuck are you doing bringing dead fish and this weird bitch into my room while I'm eating?
I wonder if they were catching fish and just letting them kind of flop about on the floor. Because everything was carpeted back then too. No such thing as a hardwood floor. They grabbed the butter off the cart, recalls Appice, and rubbed it around her pussy. Then they started screwing her with the nose of the fish, pushing the snappers into as far as they could. Unsavory, to say the least. And when they were done with all that, they urinated and defecated on Jackie.
You're so special.
I don't like this.
Yeah, it's very gross, but I mean, it's fall, so it kind of counts as Halloween. Led Zeppelin would continue this disturbing sexual behavior at the Continental Hyatt House on LA's Sunset Strip in the 1970s. It was there that a 29-year-old Jimmy Page seduced a young groupie named Lori Matlox. Is that her name? Maddox. Lori Maddox, when she was just 14 in 1973. He just swept me off my feet, made me fall madly in love with him, Maddox says in the book, which also details the 1973 New York City robbery of the band, in which $200,000 was looted from the hotel safe. Oh, gross. He was the rock god Prince to me, a mystical person who was really convincing. I know he fell in love with me because of my innocence. It was no secret he liked young girls. Well, he was a magical man, Jimmy Page.
Still is.
And he still is. He's a beautiful, magical Hawaiian grandma.
That's what he looks like?
Definitely. Sometime between 1978...
He looks like Kirk's grandma.
1978 and about 1999, Jimmy Page turned into like a old Asian-looking woman.
Yeah, let's just look at him recent pictures of him. So, anyways, that's
so none of that story was incriminating. But what's funny is that the story's being brought up and it's in a different wrapping paper now. And
oh yeah, he does. I remember that. Yeah, he does look like an old Asian woman.
But it's just funny. It's like,
wow,
because that story.
Is he not Asian?
No, he's not Asian.
No, he wasn't Asian until later. He turned into an Asian person.
He got an Asian implant.
I think maybe he got he got a facelift maybe, and it just that's the effect it had on him.
Didn't stick right. He looks like Yo-Yo Ma.
It didn't stick right. His facelift didn't take.
It did not take.
It looks like Yo-Yo Ma's mom.
Oh yeah, so this is
Yo-Yo Mom.
Yo-Yo Mom. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yo-Yo Mom.
It's really weird how hard it is to kind of find like a somewhat of a mainstream news site that talks about Jimmy Page and the girl that he sort of had and his.
Okay. Wait. Yo-Yo Ma.
Okay.
Okay.
Jimmy Page.
Yo-Yo Mom.
I mean, it's
Yo-Yo Grandma.
That's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
No one's going to talk about the Jimmy Page thing because no one wants to really face that.
I also have Jim Jones pulled up. Is that... Do we need him?
Jim Jones? No.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants to acknowledge that somebody who is a legitimate...
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio is going to play Jim Jones?
Yeah.
Is that a cultural appropriation?
No, Jim Jones is a white guy with the tan in the 70s, so he just looks like
he's got odd
ethnic.
jowls. He's got odd jowls.
Yeah, he's got jowls, yeah, for sure. He looks like Bruce Lee with prosthetics on. He looks like Bruce Lee trying to be Marlon Brando.
Oh, he kind of looks like a...
He looks like he's wearing some kind of skin suit.
Kind of looks like he's like Bopo.
I mean...
He looks like he's on the spectrum.
The glass...
He looks like
he does look like he's
invited to his birthday.
Oh, not invited.
Yo, I'm not invited to my birthday.
I would have followed him.
Well, you would have followed him into the afterlife.
You know, where would you rather be? This hellish world or the afterlife, Burger?
You know, that's a really good question because 2 years ago I would have said, this world, it's troubled, but you know, I'm in it for the long haul. And then now I'm like, oh shit, I went somewhere else. What happened? Where am I?
A good steering wheel that doesn't fly off while you're driving.
That's what I would have wanted if you asked me 2 years ago.
A good steering wheel?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
all I
a
want.
smart answer. Do we have another story?
No.
Shit. Hey, looking to get into the podcasting game? We have a high-quality opportunity for you. We here at The Brute and the Fruit are a worldwide auditory entertainment vehicle delivering content to consumers since 2020. Look, sometimes quality matters more than quantity, and our consumers are some of the most discerning in the business. Little known fact, ex-associate of Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, has a seamstress, and that seamstress has a house that is worked on by a general contractor, which is heard of our show. So, for the opportunity of a lifetime, email us at brute.n.fruit@gmail.com. We're eager and ready to receive.
No, that's it. It's just everything is vaccine, Supreme Court, vaccine, governor, vaccine, Taco Bell, Gavin Newsom.
I mean, you guys aren't sports guys, but have you followed or heard anything about this Aaron Rodgers
Yes.
thing with the vaccination?
Yes.
And how quickly the whole entire world has turned on him?
Yes. Immediately.
So what I heard was he wasn't actually vaccinated and they fired him.
No, so he wasn't vaccinated and he got COVID, and so he had to miss the game, you know. But apparently he never bothered to tell anyone that he wasn't vaccinated. So everyone's butthurt that happened because there weren't the proper precautions or whatever that to be taken because he, you know, and so now, and then as the evidence came, as it all came out and blah, 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 and the more he's talked about it, the more like fuel that's been given to people like Jimmy Kimmel or whatever to like make fun of him for it, or for people to like really like want to cancel him. Like they're calling him a Karen. They're calling it.
Karen's such a not a right word.
I don't see how that even makes sense.
They're calling him deceptive. Like, there's this whole thing where, and beforehand, he was Aaron Rodgers. He says he played for Green Bay, and he was like this football player.
Was he the one that where there was a meme about recently where he fell over, his helmet fell off?
I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, the weird helmet thing,
Yeah, that was really recent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Another thing I remember talking about was from a year ago, he looks way older. Like his hair just suddenly turned gray, and he looks
Could
like
be a clone.
Maybe he just stopped dyeing it. Maybe it's been turning gray for a minute. You know?
Yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah.
A lot of times you learn that like
But
when
what kind of
someone's hair
conspiracy
starts,
theory could this be?
No,
What could we turn this into?
Well, no, I don't look at it as a conspiracy theory. I'm looking at it as
I see it as an
of-
opportunity.
I'm looking at it as more of like the way you get chewed up and spit out by the fucking sports media in particular. Like I know, like I said, you guys aren't sports guys.
Well, sports media is really fickle,
Well,
right?
no, but there's-
It's so annoying.
Yeah, well.
Sports media is the most. For one, everyone in sports media has the memory of a goldfish. So if all of a sudden, like this year, you know, like the Seahawks have been, you know, they're not doing well, and Russell Wilson's about to come back from an injury and stuff. But like literally, this is the first season that the Seahawks have been bad since Russell Wilson has been in the league. And people will talk about how, oh, well, you know, Russell Wilson isn't the same anymore. And it's like, hold on a second. Like, what isn't the same anymore? Like, what, from what sample size? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'd be like going to see fucking Jimmy Page play, and he breaks a string on stage and or hits something out of tune, and they're like,
Ugh,
man,
what's happening with Jimmy
isn't
Page?
Yeah,
good,
he's
you
not
know?
the same anymore.
He must not have
And
any
it's
kids
like,
locked up in his
they're
basement.
so quick.
He must not be fishing for pussyfish.
They're so quick to turn someone
into a villain.
into a villain, but also to like turn on them in the sense of like their production, like they're washed up has been,
Right.
even though it was only a year and a half ago that they were the best player in the league.
Right. Well, it's like the thing with Eric Clapton. It's the same thing with him. Rolling Stones doing all these nasty hit pieces on him because he was like, well, after I got my second dose of the vaccine, and I was sorry about I wasn't able to play guitar. My hands stiffened up. I got all these sorts of these medical issues going on. It was just as soon as I had the second dose of the vaccine. And he's like, he didn't say anything like, don't get the vaccine. He's just like, this is my personal experience. And they're like, well, Eric Clapton is anti-vaxxer.
White privilege.
Yeah. And they're like, what?
He made his nut off the music of the black man.
Then he also said something racist in the past.
They said he said something racist about Eric
No, there was a big concert thing. There's a thing that he did where and this was also I believe at a time when he was like hooked on heroin and shit.
I was going to say he's probably on.
It's from 1968 or 1969. They said Eric. Clapton.
No, it was in it was like the 70s.
He said something pretty straightforwardly racist.
Yeah, it was like very very racist. But then the excuse was like he was on fucking drugs and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
No, I saw because there was a bit on MSNBC where there's this bitch on MSNBC that does the absolute worst person
I want to be
segment.
nasty. Do you mind?
And last week it was Eric Clapton because he's an anti-vaxxer, which he never claimed to be. They just say that he's an anti-vaxxer. But because he said that so this is Eric Clapton's on him allegedly racist remarks he made during a 1976 concert resurface. He said something else about Jimi Hendrix in like 68 or something. Here we go. His most famous rant took place during a 1976 show in Birmingham, UK, where he told concert goers to support the British anti-immigration conservative politician Enoch Powell. Powell's one of the most divisive politicians. Clapton's.
Long story short, Eric Clapton went on some fucking bullshit rant about some racist shit when he was on fucking heroin back in the 70s. And some people haven't forgot that, and they label him a racist, even though, like I said, he made his nut off the worshiping black musicians and stuff. Now, whether or not you want to say he stole from them or what, like, he was obviously inspired by them. And I find that if someone's actually like a racist, like hateful person, I don't think that you wouldn't like aspire to be like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What he said was pretty straightforward. He's like, I don't want black people in my country.
Well, he said, this is England. This is a white country. We don't want any black something. I can't. They bleep it out, so I don't even know what he's saying. Black W blank blank S. So I don't know what that would be. And cunts. I'm assuming it's cunts because it's 4 letters that starts with a C. Living here. We need to make clear to them they're not welcome. I think it was like an Arab thing. Like, he didn't want... The rocker claimed England was a white country made for white people and bellowed out the fascist party's Keep Britain White slogan. Is this really real, or is like this something they could have written the story?
No, this is real. I knew
audio
about this
clip
shit
of it
years ago. I heard about it. I mean, this isn't like new stuff.
He told the Daily Mail he was semi-racist during his early career and is so ashamed of who he was. Well, I guess that's nice. At least if you change really early, it's okay. If you change like when you're 79 years old and you're like, I think the trans people...
You gotta think of the dose of medicine he had to take when he's being called God. And then this flamboyant, tall, lanky black dude comes over, plugs into your bassist amp, and then starts shredding through a song that you have trouble playing. Like, you're probably gonna, if you are racist, then you're probably gonna have some hateful things to think or say there. You know what I mean?
Clapton wrote...
that's what he didn't want. He's like, I just don't want Jimi Hendrix coming here and showing me up.
Clapton is a well-known COVID skeptic and often shares his anti-lockdown supporters material. Clapton wrote, I've been a rebel all my life against tyranny and arrogant authority, which is what we have now, but I also crave fellowship, compassion, and love. That's what I find here. I believe with these things we can prevail.
I mean, Clapton is a piece of shit. Let's just call it.
Oh no, don't stop.
No, the guy tried to take. He tried and succeeded in stealing George Harrison's wife from him. And George Harrison
Yeah.
was supposed to be his best fucking friend.
Hey, well, he delivers. George Harrison wasn't delivering. And
Or
Clapton
was it?
did.
Or was the fact that he had this fucking weasel, like Jay Leno, hiding in the goddamn closets, listening to the fucking board meetings, so he can get the Tonight Show? He's some fucking weasel infiltrating your marriage, driving a wedge in between the two of you because he's fucking obsessed with your wife. It's pretty fucked up. Think about it.
I've heard he's a douche.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what makes for beautiful music. That's what makes for
How
rock
is that?
songs.
How is that beautiful?
Because he won.
It's gross.
You're so special.
You just tell her she's special.
No, what he did was he confronted her at a party. Clapton and stop me if you've heard this story.
I haven't.
So
Nobody even knows who George Harrison is.
Harrison and his wife.
George Harrison.
the-
I don't. I do.
George Harrison and his wife. I want to say her name was Patty Boyd.
Oh, it's not Layla.
Well, what do you mean? That's not the actual name. Patty Boyd is the name of who I'm talking about, I believe. Fax machine.
Oh, what?
Patty
Boyd.
Boyd.
I have George Harrison pulled up. Patty Boyd. English model.
Probably.
Okay, yeah, that's her.
Oh gosh. Don't age, folks.
Titties?
It does not go well.
So Patty Boyd is married to George Harrison. George Harrison and Eric Clapton are like best buds. There's a party. Oh yeah, I mean, when she was younger, she was breathtaking.
She's pretty. I don't know. The English aren't the most attractive.
Now she looks like Dolly Parton mated with a cougar
Yeah.
in the woods.
And then it got attacked by the cougar. I don't know. She wasn't even that. She was fine.
Well, there's different
So
standard for beauty.
he confronts her at this party. George Harrison was off doing something else, and he confronts her at this party and tells her that he's in love with her and that they need to run away together. And she's like, I'm married to George. And he's like, if you don't leave with me, I'm going to take this whole, and he had a whole like vial of heroin. I'm going to take this whole thing.
Talk about romance.
And so then she stayed with Harrison and they stayed married. I don't know how much longer after that, but then they ended up getting divorced. And then she got with Harrison, or not Harrison, but Clapton. Clapton wrote Layla about her.
Okay.
Couldn't say Patty.
Patty.
So Layla, there really isn't.
Got you on my neck.
I'm just saying there really isn't a Layla. You know what I mean? There's no Layla out there. It was like, oh, who Layla? Who? You know, like it was just a fictitious name. You know,
Yeah. It's like Beth from Kiss. It was, it was written for a woman named Becky, I think.
Was like maybe Melissa? Like was Melissa by the Allman Brothers? We look up see if Melissa by the Allman Brothers was actually about a Melissa.
Yeah, they told it that when Peter Criss first wrote Beth, he wrote Beck because it was short for Becky, and they're like, well, people might think you're singing about like Jeff Beck or something.
Well, like, Hey Jude. Hey Jude isn't about Jude. It was about Paul McCartney talking to Julian Lennon about his parents getting divorced.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's news to me.
At least I mean, it's a story I heard.
So is it going to be Jewel for short?
They just
Hey
changed-
Jewel,
Yeah.
don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let it into your heart. Then you can start to make it all better. Better, 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 better.
Man, this story is so fucking long.
La
Which
la
one?
la 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 la. Hey Jude. You know, I haven't heard that song in a long time. Believe it or not, I'm
Well,
sure
if you
it gets
listen to
played
that
on-
song, you'll be listening to it for a long time because it's like 11 minutes.
No,
of that.
that's an exaggeration, and I don't have a problem with long songs.
I don't either in the
appreciate
right
long
context.
songs.
It's not so much a long song. It's a long outro. It's like a long chorus at the very end, which is fine in the right context.
I'm getting closer to my home.
I'm getting closer.
I'm getting
Closer to my home. Boom, 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 boom.
This is just like such a
Ladies
long
and gentlemen,
version.
Climax Blues Band.
Hello.
Oh wait, who does that song?
It's Melissa by the Allman Brothers Band, and by that time Google stops listening. It won't actually find.
Okay,
Anything you type
Grand
after
Funk
that.
Railroad. That's who does
Oh, okay.
that.
I knew it was 3 words.
Getting closer to my.
Okay, guys, are you done fucking around?
Did you find out about Melissa?
No. How many filters have you sold?
Oof.
Oh.
Pivot.
Hard pivot.
Like no steering wheel
so-
that doesn't fly off while you're driving.
So, meaning to talk to you. What is the return? I'm gonna need the money back that I gave you for the. They got returned.
They don't get returned. It's like a fucking water bottle.
Well, they're telling me I need to give them their money back. They didn't.
Why?
I didn't really pry too much. They just were pretty upset.
What do you mean upset? Why would it's a good product?
I
It
guess the
filters water.
guy's wife went to Walmart or some shit and got like a Brita for like.
Did you tell them how
35.
much better this is?
She was just like
Well, look, we're trying to sell this to wealthy people as a luxury product. It's not about like how cheap can you get a water filter. It's about, do you want to have the best?
Hey man, like I'm just saying, there's only so much I could tell someone without them calling the cops on me
What?
for being at their house yelling about fucking water filters.
Makes a lot of sense.
You know?
You don't need to do that.
Well, when I say, hey, I got a good product for you, this is a product that you need to have. This is high end.
Yeah.
This is better than what you can get in the stores.
Right. Good.
This is fantastic shit. Try this water.
And then they
Okay.
It
start.
tastes great. And then the wife says, I have fine tasting water. I have a Brita filter right here. What's the difference? And I just go, well, taste it. And they say, get out of my house. What am I supposed to do then? How the fuck am I supposed to keep peace?
This doesn't make sense. So how did you sell it to them and now they're returning it?
Well,
if that's the-
this is a conversation I had after
you sold it to the guy,
yes,
and the angry wife comes back.
he called me up and he said, he calls me up and he says, you need to get your fucking ass over here right now and you need to get this water filter out of my home. I don't ever want to see it again. You understand? I can hear someone going
much
off
did
the
you
background. Now, do you remember
Full price?
Have you ever heard the call of the woman who got attacked by her own chimpanzee? That's what this shit sounded like. I just hear this wah, wah, in the background, dishes breaking and shit. So when I showed up,
It sounds like an abusive relationship.
hey, I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm not one to cast any kind of like anything on. They do them. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Just
right.
don't show up. Just
I showed up because they wouldn't stop calling me, you know? And I told them that here at the Filigree Filter Conglomerate,
okay.
we offer satisfaction guarantee.
No, we don't. You gotta stop saying that.
Well, that's...
And you're not getting your money back.
Dude,
That's your filter now.
I need you to...
That's yours.
Mm.
You can sell a used filter, I guess, but you're not getting the money back.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to recoup this $50 for these 2 filters.
What do you mean $50?
That's what they were sold for. We talked about
The
this last
first
week.
2, you have how many more have you sold? You could offset the price if you.
That's it.
Remember the fucking song? Remember the actualization we came up with? 500 filters in the next 2 months. I'm up to 173.
How'd you do it?
I've been making calls. I've been putting out social media. I've been paying for ads.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I've sold
You gotta
45.
get your product in front of people's eyes.
I've sold 45 filigree filters since the last podcast.
Full price?
I mean, what do you yes.
Okay.
Yes, full price.
Because this was the method where you got the girlfriends interested.
Right. That, like, or I get my gay friends that have, because they have so many girlfriends and stuff, and they're all about, they think that, you know, it matters or whatever.
And
but then also I've met with other people and I'm like, you can give me payments every week, and it's kind of a handshake agreement. So,
okay.
So it's, they're like, we're going to give you $5 a week.
$5 a week?
Well, yeah, because it adds up. I mean, think of, there's 45.
Do you even know the dues we have?
I'm not gonna lie
What
to you,
dudes?
man. I really don't know much of what's going on. One day you came running here with an armful.
You guys are stressing me the fuck out right now.
You came running here with an armful of water filters and talking about how great this shit is. You know, I actually decided I started putting Kirkland brand vodka through the filter. And then it's really smooth. It's really good.
That's good. Okay, I love
that. Remember, there used to be a sponsor.
Yeah, I know. I feel we might need to bleep that.
Very short-lived.
We have to bleep that. They might not appreciate the association.
Bleeped.
Well, I mean, their association is forever solidified in internet history. But so if you get these people that they promised me, I haven't like text. They're like, I promise I'll give you $5 a week. I pinky swear.
How much did they give you as down?
$5 down. You give $5 off the bat, and then
so 5 times 45, 25 2. That's $225.
Yeah, and it's a constant income stream. But
Burger
think about
got you $225. He sold 40. He said he sold 45 units, $5 piece.
They're supposed to be like that much each.
$225, right?
Right out.
They're supposed to be that much each.
Yeah, almost all of them.
I
gave
thought that was
a
a suggested price.
I told you they're $100.
Right, so that's a suggested price.
Yeah, but you're not even considering inflation or deflation.
And
you don't know how economics work.
You know, times are tough, man. You understand that?
Yeah, this guy thinks that there hasn't been a
you know how many times I've been
pandemic.
We're gonna get fucked on this.
And they said, "Why would I pay for this when I can just drink straight out the water spigot?"
Who's we? I mean, we are gonna get screwed. What does that even mean?
It's gonna take you 50 weeks just to pay off one filter.
Besides that, you wrote this song for us to do, this commercial.
Oh,
yeah,
don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, and
we're
we
about
spent
to
a lot of time.
No, we're not playing that.
I'm not comfortable playing that at all.
We're gonna play it.
We're not gonna play it.
We haven't even we haven't run it. We haven't mixed it.
Yes, I did.
And the bass was really low on it because we were using equipment that wasn't good.
Do not play. Don't play. This is
world premiere.
This is
the world.
This is rape. Now I know how it feels like
to be
a 17-year-old to get raped by a red snapper by a rock star.
You got paid, okay?
I feel like Jewel or whatever her name is being defecated on by
Jackie.
Batman and Dickhole.
You fucks are making me. Okay, here it is.
No.
Come on, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it. Filigree filters are what you need. Get rid of bacteria from what you drink. All those other companies are full of shit. We're the only manufacturers that be legit. Yeah, Filigree. Yeah, Filigree. Filigree filters is what you need. Eliminate germs from what you drink. Nobody else cares about what's in your sink. Well, Filigree filters cares about what you think. Yeah, Filigree. Yeah, Filigree.
Your homework.
Scary microscopic germs the government made to kill your sperms. It don't have to be that way. Filigree will make you go away. Yeah, Filigree.
Your homework, kids.
Yeah, Filigree.
Save your money and
yeah, Filigree. You silly reason. Yeah, Filigree. Don't be a reason. Yeah, Filigree.
Good, right?
I mean,
Oh, sorry. That's a personal recording.
I've done a lot of things in my life that I'm not quite comfortable with because if you think about it, like every time you go to work, you're not doing what you love. You're sacrificing your body and your time really for the benefit of the higher ups.
You're doing.
And that's what I
you're
feel like I'm
making
doing
an
right
exchange.
now. And that's the problem.
Time and effort for money.
No, but that's
that
the
you
whole
need
thing.
to exist.
The reason
that
why
is
we
what
started
every
doing
person
this
has done since the beginning of time. Okay.
But the reason we started
you think
doing
they
this,
wanted to hunt? You think they wanted to gather?
but the reason we started doing this podcast is because we were tired of like our everyday jobs.
Yeah,
we didn't want to do this
I don't
shit.
get why we did that song though. Like I don't get it.
It's hip hop. That's the most popular genre right now.
That was like something from like 1990.
Well, I mean that's
Like,
when,
like
hip
that was
hop.
like something from some like Ghost Rider, the TV show from PBS.
Yeah. I was like something.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
like something
Like
from
Barney.
That's like something from an educational program that they would show us when we were kids in the second grade.
Well, I thought it was good.
Don't do drugs. Drugs are not good. Drugs are bad for you and your mom will die.
Well,
I mean, I know you're pretty proud of what
we
you
had
wrote
more
there, man,
rhyming.
but like,
there's
tell you.
rhymes in there.
I'm just telling you, man.
They were good, insightful lyrics.
What you
Let's just say
need,
if we
fill a
didn't-
green
if we
filters,
didn't-
what you need.
if we didn't-
Yeah.
Germs and sperm. I don't think that's very clever.
If you didn't tell us that we were going to be forgiven of whatever difference we had monetarily towards you,
That was for last week. You guys have fucked up even more.
but that was like a forever pass, right? Like a omnipotent. Like I just saw a guy.
It's not like Jesus on the cross, okay?
I just saw a guy. He paid off all of his debts by spending $150 a year at Six Flags. Do you ever see this?
No.
no.
This ad popped up a couple times.
Story time.
So I don't have the story up in front of me, but here's what happened. Some guy in like Ohio or Philadelphia, or probably, Pennsylvania. Ohio or Pennsylvania in that Rust Belt area has got himself out of debt by buying $150 season pass to Six Flags. Now you wonder, how does that get him out of debt? But because you go to the roller coasters so much, it was costing him so much money that he decided to buy a season pass. No. A part of the season pass, the $150 season pass to Six Flags, was you get 2 free meals when you'd visit. But there was no limit to how often you can come to the park.
Mm-hmm.
So every day the guy would literally just go to Six Flags and eat his meals.
Okay.
And I got him out of debt.
Well, he had to get money to pay the debt down, though. Where'd he get that?
Well, he's probably working a job and shit.
Yeah, so this is your job selling filters. Do you understand?
No, listen. He cut out the cost of food by going to like Six Flags and having like a corn dog and some pretzels or some shit.
Right.
Right.
Well, I'm failing to see how this fits in with our discussion.
Thought it was neat.
Yeah, that's cool. So you guys gonna give me that money?
Well, no, we're forever. It's like that was us degrading ourselves like that for that garbage that you just played. I'm sorry.
That was an excellent.
Well,
You guys don't understand. I'm on the internet, okay?
the
And
what?
I'm selling things through it. And you two are going around fucking dudes and talking to angry wives. And I'm doing real multimedia shit here on another level you can't even see. I'm on another plane.
Again, the reason why we wanted to do this podcast is because we didn't want to deal with the corporate overlords. We didn't want to deal with people who
You always gotta make your nut.
profit is the ultimate success. It's not about. We just want to spread our art. We want to laugh. We want to have fun.
Well,
we want to hang out
gotta
with our
keep
friends.
these fucking lights on, okay, guys? You know how much this new board was? This new equipment?
Like,
A lot
can't
more
we,
than a few filters, I'll tell you that.
can't we just
And with all due respect, sir, we didn't force you to buy that equipment.
Do you want a real multimedia experience or not?
People need health care. People need treatment. People need love. People need care. People need to love each other every day. We all gotta fight the corporate gods. We gotta work together for each other. Oh yeah. Sorry, I just wrote that 5 minutes ago.
Beautiful.
Something I thought was
I ripped the
really
skin.
preview to
That's
our
great.
conversation.
I like it.
You're the Pfizer of podcasts.
Hey, they're very successful. I like how you brought up God, because I've been thinking a lot about God lately.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
The Lord, Jesus Christ, and
Not to be confused with
the Holy Spirit.
Jimmy Page or David Gilmour.
No, they've been canceled. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting. I have
I'd like
another
to think
venture
that
going
Pink
on.
Floyd didn't rape women with fish on tour.
You know, that's the great
I
thing about
think
Roger
they'd be a
Waters.
little more classy.
See, when you kept saying "raped with fish," and there's another band, I thought it was the band Fish.
Oh,
That's
like
Peach.
Trey Anastasio just raping some bitch.
Yeah, with
With
like
a fish?
Jimmy Page. Yeah.
Oh, so
Jimmy
okay.
Page and Trey.
yeah, tag teaming abroad,
Yeah.
Oh, I see what he meant.
eating red snapper.
Yeah, you're supposed to cook the red snapper. You're not supposed to take it into your hotel room and beat bitches with it.
Well, they fished it through the hotel.
Yeah, well, see, again, those were the days.
Yeah.
I want to be nasty. Do you mind?
No. So, anyways, you're talking about God.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of got this operation going on. I mean, it kind of sucks because it was fucking cold coming here. My car was outside in the rain, like some kind of hobo's car. You know, a real fucking person keeps their vehicle in a garage, of course. And I have had to give that up, but I think it's for a good cause.
So when you got here, you were talking about being miserable. Cold. Your car or the window broken?
Oh, well, you know, there was some activity.
Some wind recently. You got a
Fell out of
branch
a
in
tree.
the window.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. But I mean, the things we give up for like the prosperity of the people and the movement.
The movement?
Well,
You're speaking very vague.
we've got-
most politician terms right
there's a
now.
system. And that's why I'm sorry, guys, that I'm being so harsh on you. Because I should really forgive, like, turn the other cheek, you know? And it's just that I need to fund some things. And I'm glad that you guys are willing to help me with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember Berger and I ever being like consulted about selling your tchotchkes.
Yeah, I think maybe there
It
was,
was
a
mostly,
miscommunication
like I said,
with
it was like you-
methods.
You came busting in here with water filters spilling out of your arms, and you're just like, I gotta get rid of these. Do it.
Well, when the Lord presents you with an opportunity, you have to take it. You know, some people think that you should just wait to be rewarded for your good deeds, but sometimes it's right in front of you what you have to do, and you've been given that opportunity. And I just want to present you guys with an excellent opportunity that came to me through the Almighty Spirit.
When did you start being religious?
Well, this kid Troy, you know, he's got a pretty good sermon.
Your your nephew,
Yeah.
your nephew Troy has a good sermon.
Well, you know,
Isn't this the same
Nephew
kid
is
that
kind
would
of-
like watch you poop?
well, he knew I was a sinner.
He
And
still
that's
watches
why-
you poop.
No, well, sometimes, but he knew I was a sinner, and he knows when I'm following the path that I need to follow, and so he's been treating me better because I've been following that path. And I think I think I'm onto a good system here.
Okay.
It's just all part of God's plan, and Troy understands that. He's innocent. He's a child, and sometimes prophets come early in their lives.
This little kid was watching you poop.
Well, yeah, but he knew I was making poor decisions.
He told his teachers.
There's nothing poor about pooping.
That was
like, everybody
a joke you guys
poops.
made. Yeah, I won't.
You don't have to feel bad about pooping.
Yeah,
I know it says in the Bible that
He
you should
hasn't
commit
said it
suicide
directly,
if you
but I
poop.
know that if I follow the path, he'll leave me alone.
So you think
And he'll
that by
allow me to be
pretending
rewarded.
pretending to be a Christian, that
There's
that
no
this little
pretending.
devil child,
There's no pretending
Damien's
here.
gonna leave you alone?
Look, we've got the
Why don't
entire
you just
neighborhood
like
almost.
flex on him a little bit?
We've
You're
got
the
almost
adult.
the entire neighborhood
whip his
listening to
ass.
his sermon in my
Piece of
garage.
shit.
His sermon.
Yes.
Isn't he like 9? He's 9.
A 9-year-old cannot provide a sermon.
A 9-year-old can't
It's-
even say sermon.
He's you should listen.
You should keep your sermon for
You
you,
know how
and your
many
wife.
other people are listening to this? Much wiser people than myself. And they know this is the right way to go. We're starting a new church.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah, it's the Church of Forgotten Times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's biblical shit.
Nobody even knows what that means. That's stupid.
Yeah, you don't know because you don't listen. You guys are invited anytime. It's in my garage.
I just don't know how well it would look to just sit in a garage listening to a child yell at you.
You'd be amazed. I'm telling you, by the first time you hear this kid speak, you know he came from another place that's more important than our current time and place.
And he believes this, or is that your assumption again?
Are you sure he's just not watched too many movies?
He delivers the word of the Lord through his vessel, and we hear it through him. He may be a child, but the words are not.
But
childish.
didn't you get in trouble with his teacher for showing him your vessel?
No, I didn't. The teacher. There's no problem with teachers.
But I thought you were pooping in front of him, and
That was all just a misunderstanding.
My uncle poops in front of me.
No, that's not how he talks. You made that up.
He doesn't have Down syndrome.
I didn't say he did.
You're doing Down syndrome
No,
voice right now.
No, I was not.
You're
Oh,
so
no,
special.
No, that's you're doing that.
Would you
I'm-
like
I'm
to see
doing-
my dick?
I'm doing like a 9-year-old who's very like, you know,
Dude, I was much
A
more
9-year-old.
You
articulate.
know. Oh yeah, we know.
I
what
was
you're
very
doing.
articulate when I was 9. I knew there was
And
no
so
such thing
you're
as God.
gay. But you're
Troy.
gay. Doesn't count.
So I'm sophisticated. You can't be a gay Down syndrome. Wait, is there such thing as a gay Down syndrome?
I don't know, but I'm
Probably.
thinking like when you were that age, you were probably like that kid Greg on Curb Your Enthusiasm. You
No,
know,
I was
like,
not.
I make the Dorothy dress and those scenes.
That wasn't me.
Less.
No. I knew to hide.
And then there's other
My dad
people-
was a biker. And
Yeah, he hung out with a bunch of rednecks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. You weren't allowed to listen
He
to
liked
Joe Walsh.
professional wrestling. I mean, what kind of?
I had to have an outlet. I wasn't into superheroes because I knew they were phony, but I knew my fake wrestlers were real.
There you go. Troy's a lot smarter than either of you could ever be. So, if you're gonna disrespect
He
him,
believes in a boogeyman in the sky.
he believes in the truth.
How
believes in
does you
Santa
know that's
Claus,
truth?
Just listen to Troy. You'll know. You'll feel it. It's like experiencing childbirth. You can't ever go back.
Watch me. I've experienced childbirth. I was a child during birth,
Yeah, that doesn't count.
and I remember every second of it.
No, you don't.
You know what I remember?
What?
It stunk.
I want to be nasty. Do you mind?
Oh gross. Oh, what a monster.
Yeah, that's a terrible burger.
I take that back. Bleep that out.
Sure.
No, don't believe that. Double it.
So you guys gonna come to church or self-filters?
What church?
It's a church of
The unspoken word or whatever the fuck you said it was.
what did I say?
Oh, this is good. This is good stuff.
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe you're not too interested in what it is, and maybe you're trying to find solace.
Look, there's a lot
within
of
yourself,
people.
that
There's a
you're-
lot of
you're
people
uncomfortable
there,
with
and Troy allows me to do certain things that I enjoy. Okay.
you're uncomfortable with the thought of your own mortality.
See, but your gay instincts are taking you more towards show tunes.
it
And it needs to be. It needs to
needs
be
to be
more like,
long, slow notes.
Yeah, it needs to be like fucking like Mercy Me or that, you know, like modern Christian rock. Our Lord has brought us here to praise. Praise our Lord. Our Lord has brought us here today to praise the Lord again.
See, all I could think about was
Love you, joy.
Jesus Christ is Monday.
Oh, the Lord has brought us here to pray.
This sounds a lot like a showdown. Immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Immediately. Immediately just goes right into his fucking his show too.
Yeah. It's got to be slow. Like, ha, oh.
Okay. I gotta go to the organs.
Low notes. Yes.
Oh well, that's turning into old gospel.
Yeah, let's get some gospel. Maybe not. What are the lyrics, Kirk?
I'm trying to look up some.
He has arisen with the water.
With this water you shall be cleansed of all your sins.
Yes.